Let's take a little twirl around the rink with a morning skate edition of the Inside Edge. Here are your hosts, Bob McElligott and Jody Shelley.
Here at the Tampa Bay Times Forum in Tampa. Tonight, the Blue Jackets getting set to play the first of the two games remaining on the regular season schedule as they take on the Tampa Bay Lightning. It'll be the third meeting of the year between these two teams. Blue Jackets won the first two meetings, although, Jody, there will be one big difference in this game when you look at the other two. Steven Stamkos didn't play in either of those other two games. He's back now. He's healthy. Got his 25th goal of the year last night. So that automatically makes them, a much different team and a better team coming into this game.
Yeah, and Marty St. Louis is now in New York. He wanted that trade. He got out of here. And everyone wondered what would happen when they got the captain of the Rangers, Callahan, down here. And he's fit in well. There's chemistry there. Stamkos picked right up. He's with Teddy Purcell on the power play. And 25 goals for a guy who missed that big part of the season. He's that pure goal scorer, one of the best in the league, if not the best shot, especially with the one-timer off that off wing. So he's a threat, and this will be exciting. Now, Tampa is without their goalie. He got hurt. Bishop got hurt 2 games ago. But that didn't change a thing. They beat the Philadelphia Flyers last night, so could be a pretty heated game here.
Yeah, the Lightning did do the Blue Jackets gave them a little bit of help last night with that win over the Flyers. Now the Blue Jackets have to take care of their own business. So, Jeff Rimmer and Bill Davich are here today too. So let's get into this. Here's where we'll start. Just looking at the morning skate here, and it looks like all the line combinations will be the same. That everybody's going to be the same. Although Curtis McElhinney may make the start in net tonight for the Blue Jackets. So let's get to this point and ask Bill, when do you start looking at resting guys, or how do you do that and still maintain your position in the race, or try to better your position, I should say?
Well, I think you've got a coaching staff, first of all, that lives by the montage of, hey, game by game, day by day. Right now you have something to play for. They want to be able to climb up the ladder and pass Philadelphia if they can, be able to try to secure a playoff against the New York Rangers. So I don't think you're looking at resting anybody right now. I think that you're going to have, at least 3 days, once the season is done, 3 or 4 days, to be able to regroup. I think they're going to go with their lineup. Whatever's healthy, they'll go with the best one each night. The luxury that they do have, you got a guy like Bobrovsky, McElhinney, that have both played very well. That would be one decision that you would have to look at. But that's when you go back and you ask Bob, how do you feel? What would you like to do? And take it from there. And if there's any question mark at all, that's where the one change would be made. So I think right now they're not worried about rest. They want to play, and they're looking to win the game.
Jody, how much do you like the whole sense of business with this team and the fact that they know they clinched, but they know there's still more work to do today and tomorrow?
I love it. I love that they've clinched before the season is over. We talked about that off the air. I love that they're on the road. There's not a real sense of, we did it, look what we've done. There's none of that. They're here. There's a big goal, and the race for that, the march for that will start next week. We don't know where yet, but the sense of business. And I tell you what, this is the first time the team's been on the ice since they clinched a playoff spot. And like Billy said, they're going to go with the best lineup, but these guys want to play hockey. No one wants to sit out and watch. They want to play tonight hard. They want to play tomorrow hard. They're having fun out here today. There's a different kind of feel. There's a different tempo. And I'd like to hear how they, when we talk to them after, if it feels a little more bounce in your step today, because there's a confidence. You don't see them laughing and joking and feeling good about themselves. They're working, they're playing, and they're just having a lot of fun.
Jeff, how about the fact that the Blue Jackets are in a different situation? The last couple of weeks, it seems like every time they get on the ice somewhere, the other team has had the day off before, or the other team hasn't played in 3 or 4 days. Well, the Blue Jackets are the team that got a chance to sit here and relax and just go to dinner last night and watch the Lightning play against the Flyers, and it's the Lightning that's in that back-to-back situation here tonight.
And the Lightning came off a pretty big win over Philadelphia. Talking to Steve Yzerman and briefly to Coach John Cooper, very pleased with his club's performance there last night, but they really want that home ice advantage. In fact, I asked Steve Yzerman, is it really that important with a young hockey club that you get to second place? Wouldn't you be better off maybe starting on the road as a young team? And that's certainly something that some coaches would prefer. But Yzerman says, no, they want second place. And now they had that opportunity because the door was left open by the New York Islanders beating Montreal last night. So, hey, it's great for the Blue Jackets. They get a day off. But Jody's right. You could just see the attitude of the hockey club here today. They're loose. They're focused. And they're confident here right now. Hey, clinching a playoff spot for the first time in 5 years was huge for this hockey club. A lot of young players on this team that are going to get their first taste of the postseason, but they don't look like they're in awe either based on what we see here today. And, of course, still yet to be determined is who the Jackets' first-round opponent will be, and it could still be one of 3 teams. So it'll be interesting to see how these dominoes fall in the next 48 hours.
And isn't it funny? You're never really going to get a commitment from a player, right? They're just happy to be in. We'll play whoever comes along, but in the back of everybody's mind, they all know what they feel the best situation is going to be for them and what the best matchup is going to be in their heads, right, Shelley?
Well, yeah, and it's funny you say that. I spoke with a few of the Flyers yesterday who were in town to play. They were staying at our hotel, and as we know, we had to wait for our hotel rooms because they were actually checking out of them. But
we didn't all have to wait.
Yeah, well, no.
Some VIPs got their seats early.
Did you get in early? Yeah. Oh, boy.
Jody, where you and I were.
6:30 I got my room last night, so.
Well, if you would have put a few dollars down on the front counter, you might have got your room earlier.
Easy. You must have got the coach's room, did you?
No, I got the president's room.
Oh, okay. So you're staying with the president. I see. You guys are bunkmates.
No. I got the president's room. He wasn't in it.
Oh, okay. I got you now. But, but I talked with the Flyers guys, and it's interesting. They understand how they feel about playing the Rangers. They don't match up well, but they know and they're confident to play against the Pittsburgh Penguins. And one guy actually flat out said, yeah, Pittsburgh would be a better matchup. We wouldn't mind falling there. So it's one of those things, no, they're not going to say it publicly, but they know, they know how they feel when they go into a building, when they match up against a goalie, when they match up against a defenseman like Chara. There's all those situations. Now, when the chips fall, they're going to be ready. They're going to prepare. They're going to spend 3 days talking, looking, watching video, getting amped up for whoever it is. But, yeah, right now there's scenarios that we can talk about all day long.
Yeah, and maybe we will all day long today. Jeff, you look like you have something to say.
Well, I just want to let Jody know we had a discussion a couple of days ago at the Blue Jacket practice as to who potentially the Blue Jackets would be playing. And at the time, I said I really thought the Jackets would finish 8th and play Boston.
Confidently.
At the same time, hey, if you can't take a compliment, Jody, I'll back off here. I'm trying to give you a compliment here right now, and you're jumping in. You're interrupting. The fact of the matter is, Jody was the guy, and maybe it's that player's instinct, but Jody's the guy that said he didn't think we're going to play Boston. He thought it was more realistic the Jackets would play Pittsburgh and finish 7th in the conference with the first wild card, or perhaps even catch the New York Rangers. And as we sit here with 2 games remaining, and the Flyers losing last night here in Tampa to the Lightning, it looks very, very realistic, and the Jackets want to finish in 3rd place in the Metro, and they want to face the New York Rangers in the first round. And the storylines would be endless. And I got to tip my hat to Jody Shelley. And again, it's that players mentality that really came to the fore here with Jody.
Hey, speaking of players' mentality, Bill, just this team and the fact that that's the way that they were looking too. It's very easy to go out and say that, when you're doing interviews and say, we've got to look ahead, But they haven't just looked ahead. They're in the business of getting ahead here.
Yeah, and they are, and that's the way they're playing. And just the enthusiasm as you see with this hockey team, they want to be able to come in and do what they need to do best, and that is really swarm. And talking with Coach Cooper here this morning with Tampa, he is very concerned about this hockey team because of the way they work, the way they play hard, they give us everybody fits. You can expect that here again tonight, but to each man on the ice, everybody, as Jody mentioned earlier, everybody to a man wants to be in the lineup. There's nobody who wants to sit. They want to be part of the solution, and that's what's going to be fun to watch this game tonight.
Absolutely. Did you learn to take that compliment yet? Are you okay over here?
Well, no. I mean, I just, we were 1 point behind with 4 games left. I just said, hey, don't lock it in. Don't book your hotel room, your presidential suite yet, Jeff, in Boston. Wait to see what happens because you might not get that money back.
I think Jeff is actually speechless right now.
Never. I'll come back with a right hand here and an uppercut. Hey, Jody was right. We don't know. No. We're not finished here yet. But the fact of the matter is that the Blue Jackets still, and we've said this all the way along, they can control their own destiny. And guess what? They can control their own destiny again here.
I have a question for you about tonight's game. You and Billy. I don't know much about Tampa Bay. I mean, we played them a little bit, but what's the key tonight? What's the key for the Jackets to get on this team? I'm kind of putting you on the spot, I know, but what's the key to play against the Lightning? They're a team that, the goalie is out, Stamkos is there, Callahan's fitting in. Are they a fast team? Are they a team that likes to score lots of goals? What are we looking at here?
Well, number one, Lindbach is coming off a superb performance, and the betting is here. Bobby Taylor, their fine television analyst, said that he would be very, very surprised, and he used a different analogy, but he would be very, very surprised if Lindbach did not play in tonight's game. He has played superbly for them the last 2 games. They're a team up front that can score. They've got a guy by the name of Stamkos that has scored more goals over the last several seasons than anybody else in the National Hockey League, and he missed a fair amount after breaking his leg. I think he's got 210 goals. He's 8 goals ahead of Ovechkin, and Ovechkin's coming off a 50-goal season. They've also got a lot of good young players. Thompson, you have Palat, Johnson. I mean, they've got some young players with certainly some great talent, and they've got a Russian player by the name of Kucherov, who we had a chance to see play in Columbus in the first 2 games in the season series, and he is a very, very outstanding young talent as well. And they told him when he was playing in the minors, all he needed to do was learn about the defensive side of the game, and once he accomplished that, he'd be on the big club.
Yeah, and you, Bill, what do you think the keys are from the way you see it tonight?
Well, I think the first thing you better do, and Jeff mentioned offense, but let's pinpoint it right down to the power play. I mean, they've scored 15 power play goals in their last 15 games, which tells you with the addition of Stamkos back in the lineup, they're going to be dangerous. You know where he's going to set up, much like on the backside where Giroux with the Philadelphia Flyers. That's exactly where Stamkos is looking for the one-timer. You've got to keep him in check. But I really think, too, with the Jackets, it's basically with that forecheck, and it's what the Jackets do, not what Tampa Bay does. It's what the Jackets do with their discipline, first of all, to keep them off of power plays, but get the legs moving and get the pucks deep and continue to play heavy hockey, because everybody you talk about with the Columbus Blue Jackets is how heavy they are and how they play the game. They're in your face and they don't give you a whole lot of room.
I've got a bone to pick with the National Hockey League, and I want to express that here on this podcast. Nathan Horton got credit for a goal the other night. It was no longer deemed a power play goal. So, as a result, he just gets credit for the goal. The National Hockey League has performed an injustice against the Blue Jackets. The Jackets could be in the top 10 in power play efficiency. You can talk about Tampa all you want, but it's the Blue Jackets that have a better power play and a much better power play. James Wisniewski, who's been on a tear here offensively, particularly on the power play, he's denied a power play assist. And if you give credit to the Horton goal, as they should, it should still be deemed a power play goal, and the Jackets would have one more. So, hey, the fact of the matter is, Horton has the goal. It should be a power play goal, and Wiz should have an extra assist, and the team should have an extra power play goal, and they would legitimately be in the top 10. And that is remarkable when you think in terms of that 10-game stretch where they went 0 for 36. NHL, listen to what I have to say and change it. The Jackets should have one more power play goal.
Well, how do you follow that up? I don't know. Well, so that should get changed later this afternoon. No question about it. We'll look for it on the stat sheets right before the game tonight. The veteran has spoken, he says. Tonight's game getting underway at 7:30 here at the Tampa Bay Times Forum. Of course, Bill and Jeff will be on Fox Sports Ohio. Jody and I will be on the Blue Jackets radio network. So thanks for joining us this morning on the Inside Edge.
You've been listening to the morning skate edition of the Inside Edge. Come back every game day to get the breakdown from Bob McElligott and Jody Shelley.